If you clicked on this video, you're probably wondering what all the different audio file formats are for. Well, today we're going to be covering each different format so you can have a clear idea of how, when, and why to use each one. Hello everyone, and welcome to WaveSpot. My name is Austin Knaus, and I've spent the last 2 decades working with audio. My goal for this channel is to share all the fundamentals that I've learned along the way in hopes to give you a fast track to understanding the world of sound. So, let's dive in. Welcome to episode 12. This is going to be our last episode in this series. And today we're going to talk about different file format types. So the first one we're going to talk about is a WAV file. So what is a WAV file? It stands for Waveform Audio File Format. And it is a uncompressed, high quality, lossless file. So what do those words mean? Well, uncompressed, not to be mistaken for compressing audio. It's digital compression. So let's say we have a really big file and we can compress it to make the file smaller. Well, a WAV file is uncompressed, meaning that it is a one-to-one replication of the exact thing that you just recorded. WAV files are primarily used in the DAW in recording, production, and mastering because they are a lossless format, meaning that there's no data loss. It is the exact information, the professional grade, high quality audio. We love the WAV file. We love the WAV format. It is the holy grail of formats. It doesn't get any cleaner than a WAV file. Hence the name of WaveSpot. Speaking of which, head over to wavespot.com where I have all of this information written in much more detail. Due to the WAV file being a lossless, uncompressed format, it tends to be a lot larger, meaning that it's hard to send it via an email, or if we were to upload it to a streaming service, they might compress it on their own behalf in order to save storage space. And that gets us into our second file format type, and that's a FLAC. What is a FLAC file? It stands for Free Lossless Audio Codec. And when you see the word codec, or CODEC, it stands for code decode. FLAC is a lossless format, just like a WAV file, but it is compressed, meaning that it uses mathematical algorithms to compress the file size. So instead of having a 1 gig file, we now have a 500 megabyte file, and we're able to compress it to save storage space. Why is this important? Well, when you're uploading to streaming services such as Spotify, Amazon, and even YouTube, they'll compress the file in order to save storage space on their servers. Again, they don't care about the quality of your audio. They care about their server's storage space. And this is important to understand. If we were to upload a WAV file to a streaming service, they'll compress it, and then that can change the way our audio sounds or create artifacts, and it's not the original audio. If we were to use a FLAC file, then it compresses it with our own hands and our own control before we give it over to a streaming service. Talking about saving space, let's get into the MP3. Well, first off, this is what it does to your audio. If you look at this picture and think, what the heck, then you're absolutely right. The MP3 is a lossy, not lossless, but lossy file format. It literally takes the top half of your audio signal and just gets rid of it because it's unnecessary audio information. Now, a lot of people lose the ability to hear between 15,000 and 20,000 hertz. It's really high pitch information, but it does make your audio sound more open. What we need to understand is that MP3s are designed to save space. It's not about audio quality anymore. It's about space. If you're going to use an MP3, we would use it for sending it in a text message to our friends or uploading it to a streaming service that requires us to use an MP3. MP3s are strictly to save storage space. It's what you would use to upload to OneDrive, Google Drive, or a Dropbox in order to send it to your friend really quick, or be able to send a file in an email. Try sending a WAV file in an email. it's probably not going to happen. If you want more detailed information, again, head over to wavespot.com. I have like it all written out in a blog post. It's like 8 pages long. And lastly, we have AIFF. What is an AIFF format? AIFF stands for Audio Interchange File Format. Now, this is strictly Apple products because Apple has to change everything. They can't just leave things alone. Honestly, you can just ignore this file format unless it's a very specific Apple thing that you're working with, like maybe a ringtone or a sound that an iPhone makes. Outside of that, AIFF, it's not really used in the industry. If you want, you can stick to Wave. In summary, we're going to use WAV files for production, mixing, mastering. If you're using samples in your production, make sure that they're WAV files. If you're going to upload a file for a streaming service like Spotify, Amazon, YouTube, make sure it's a FLAC file. This mathematically one-to-one compresses the file in a perfect format in order to present it to a streaming service that only cares about server storage space. Otherwise, if you give them a full-sized WAV file, they're going to compress it for you, which can damage, alter, or create artifacts in your audio. So if you ever upload a song to a streaming service and it sounds different, that's probably why. You gave them a file that was too big and they applied a lot more of their compression than you applied previously yourself. Now, for common use for sending music to your friends or just over the internet, you can use MP3. Now, this does take out all of the information above like 16K, but it saves storage space. So just to show your buddy that doesn't quite understand audio or music, you can send him an MP3 and he's not going to know the difference. Now, when you're saving a WAV file, there's going to be different settings that you're going to see. First off, there's going to be the sample rate. Then there's going to be the bit depth. 16, 24-bit, 32-bit. Well, I'm not going to go too far deep into these settings because I made a video for that. It's up. I'm going to post it up there. If you recorded your song originally at 48K, then saving it at 96 isn't going to increase your quality. It's only actually going to hurt you more, because if you originally recorded at 48K and you save it at 96K and then you go to upload it to a streaming service, that's only going to apply more compression to shrink the size of that file. What I like to say is you can get less out of more, but you can't get more from less. So if you record it at 48K, you can feel free to go to 44.1. But if you record it at 44.1, don't go to 96, stay at 44.1. Again, with the bit depth, if you recorded 32-bit, then you can go down to 24 or you can go down to 16-bit. But if you record it at 16-bit, then don't increase it to 24 or 32. Again, you can get less from more, but you cannot get more from less. If you found any of this information valuable, make sure to hit that subscribe button and leave a like. I release a new video every Monday morning. If you learned something new, or if you still have a question, leave a comment below and I'll get back to you. If you want to read more on the topic, head over to wavespot.com, where I have much more detailed information written in a blog post. And until next time, thanks for watching.